Hey friends, Elizabeth here from Plant-Based Bride, back again with another video. And today I'm doing something a little different, setting up a brand new journal to use during Preptober and NaNoWriMo this year. I'm using the A5 vegan leather olive branch notebook from my collaboration with Archer and Olive. I believe there are still a few of these left in stock on the website, so I'll have it linked down below along with my discount code if you want to pick up one of your own. And I'm really excited to get to use another one of my collab notebooks. So what is NaNoWriMo and Preptober, you may ask? Well, NaNoWriMo is National Novel Writing Month, and this is a challenge for writers around the world to write 50,000 words of the first draft of their novel within the month of November. And it's a challenge that's been going on for years, and I've wanted to participate for a really long time, but I never had a clear enough vision for a novel I wanted to work on. I'm the kind of person who loves books, loves stories. I've started writing chapters or dialogue for different books many times throughout my life, starting at a pretty young age, but I've never been pulled to one particular story enough to really want to put in the time and effort to develop it into something more concrete. Until recently. This summer I had an idea for a sci-fi novel and it got me really excited, so I thought maybe now was the time to try participating in NaNoWriMo for the first time, and I'm super nervous because November is one of the busiest months of the year for me as a content creator and general human, and 50,000 words is a lot of words, but whether I win and reach that goal or not, I think it'll be a really cool experience. And I'm just excited to participate in a challenge that will help me to stay motivated to develop this idea further, because I think this book could be pretty cool. Now, as you might imagine, writing 50,000 words of a novel in a single month is a lot of work. And while some people like to just go for it without much of a plan and just write whatever comes to them, a lot of writers like to go into NaNoWriMo with a little more planning under their belt. And unsurprisingly, I am a planner. So that is where Preptober comes in. Preptober is what it sounds like. It is the practice of using the month of October to prepare for NaNoWriMo. And that can range from doing a basic brainstorm to get your thoughts together, to creating detailed outlines, backgrounds on all your characters, research on any more technical elements that may be included. The amount of preparation really depends on the person, but I really love that there's this focus on preparing because, as they say, failing to prepare is preparing to fail. And as a planner at heart, that is a motto I can get behind. So I decided that to have any chance whatsoever at succeeding at my first NaNoWriMo, I would have to participate in Preptober to some extent, and what better way to do that than to create a journal. So I decided to create this in a brand new journal instead of just creating spreads in my regular bullet journal, just because if this goes well, if I enjoy myself, which I am hoping will be the case, I may be participating in NaNoWriMo in the future. And I thought it would be cool to have a journal dedicated to Preptober and NaNoWriMo that I can reuse year after year to be able to quickly flip back and see how things went the year before, compare stats from year to year, and so on and so forth. So this is going to be my Preptober and NaNoWriMo journal moving forward. And because of that, I knew I wanted to start with a main cover page for the journal as a whole, which is what I'm starting with here. So starting with a quote page on the left side with my alphabet stamp set, which is linked in the description box down below, along with all of the supplies I'm using in this video. And the quote I chose was, "You only fail if you stop writing," by Ray Bradbury. And on the right side, I'm creating an illustration of a typewriter for the cover page. I've always dreamed of owning a typewriter, and I'm tempted to set getting a typewriter of my very own as a reward for actually hitting 50,000 words this time around. But they can be pretty pricey, so maybe not. Chewy wanted to be involved yet again. He's been very cuddly recently, so I gave him some scritches and let him sit on my lap for a while as I kept drawing. Since this is my first ever NaNoWriMo, I would love to hear your tips and tricks if any of you have participated in NaNoWriMo in the past. What went well for you? What was a challenge? Is there anything I should look out for? Any hacks that helped you out? Any suggestions? Leave all of those in the comments down below. I could use all the help I can get. I'd also love to know if you're participating in NaNoWriMo this year and if you want to share any details about the book you're writing. I'm super curious. Or if you've done NaNoWriMo in the past, how you did you win? Did you hit 50,000 words? All the things. I would just love to hear your experiences if you've participated in the past, are planning to this year, or hope to in the future. Flipping the page to the next spread, which is going to be my index. I decided to include this since I am planning on using this notebook for any future NaNoWriMos I may do, and I like to be able to quickly refer to various spreads as needed. I decided to make it 2 pages just to make sure I would have more than enough room. Flipping over to the next spread, which is going to be the quote page and cover page for 2021 specifically. So for the quote, I chose, "If you don't see the book you want on the shelf, write it," by Beverly Cleary. And that's certainly what I'm endeavoring to do this NaNoWriMo. As for the cover page for 2021, I decided to keep it super simple and use my favorite font just to write 2021, a quick and easy way to do a cover page that I think always turns out nice. Of course, this wouldn't be a Plant-Based Bride video if I didn't include tabs, so I'm doing simple black tabs for each spread just to make it really easy to flip between one and the next. I love to use the paper scraps that I cut away as a buffer so I can easily color in the tabs, and a piece of washi tape to get a nice clean edge. Moving on to the next spread, which is going to be my Preptober checklist on the left side. So these are all the things I want to do this month to try to be in the best position possible to start NaNoWriMo on the 1st of November. So on my list, I have NaNoWriMo journal setup, which I can check off now as I'm editing this video. Next, I have Brainstorm, which I'm likely going to do over in Scrivener, which is an application, a word processor that writers like to use to work on their books. Next is character breakdowns, which I'm also going to do in Scrivener, just a place to define my main characters, the main players in the story, and do a little bit of development as to who they are, their personalities, their backgrounds, so I can more easily find their voice as I start to write. After that, I have the plot embryo, which is something I learned from another YouTuber, Rachel Stevens. I'll link her channel down below if you want to check her out. I also have research, creating a mood board. I'll probably use Pinterest for that. Creating a playlist, which evokes the mood of the story that I can listen to while I'm writing. Setting up Scrivener, which I've pretty much finished. Creating a writing routine so that I am prepared to get started and not trying to find extra time in my already busy schedule. And last but not least, an outline. I'm not exactly sure how detailed I'm going to get on the outline just yet, but I know I want to have at least a very basic bullet point outline before I start, so that I have a little bit of a roadmap. Moving to the opposite page where I'm creating a goal breakdown, I just wanted a page to really make it clear what I was aiming for. So the ultimate goal is 50,000 words. And then we also have weekly goals of 12,000 words for week 1, 24,000 in week 2, 36,000 in week 3, 48,000 in week 4, and 50,000 in week 5. The 5th week of the month is only a couple days, hence why we have a little bit of a smaller goal for that last week. And then at the very bottom of the page, I'm creating a space for Milestone Rewards. A lot of people set up a reward structure for NaNoWriMo because it is such a huge effort, and this just helps to keep you on track and excited about hitting all of your goals. I haven't decided on what I want to give myself as rewards for each 10,000 words just yet. I'm sure most of those will end up being pretty editions of books that I've had my eye on, but we shall see. Moving on to the next spread, which is my writing routine and an area to track writing sprints. Writing sprints are just a technique to sit down and really hyper-focus and write as many words as you can in a certain amount of time. So I just wanted an area to track that, where I can write down the duration of the sprint, my goal word count, and the actual word count as I do writing sprints here and there throughout the month of November. And as for my writing routine, I just wanted to get this down on paper so that it could help me at the start of the month to really build that habit so that I know that I'm setting aside time every single day to write, because if I don't, I'm sure I will not be able to hit my goal. So my daily plan for writing is that after I finish my work for the day, I'm gonna get cozy in a warm sweater, fuzzy socks, maybe light a candle, make some tea, put on my writing playlist, and write for an hour straight, just really focusing on diving into the world and aiming for 1,667 words, which is the daily word count required to hit 50,000 by the end of the month. Moving on to the final spread of this setup, which is my word count tracker. This is inspired by a spread I saw Boho Berry do in her journal for NaNoWriMo, and I really loved it. So I decided to recreate it in my own journal. And this is just a really simple graph to track the goal word counts for each day versus the actual word counts of each day. So I'm creating this graph with a nice perfect diagonal line for the ideal word counts for every single day in black. And then my actual word count, I'm going to use this nice olive green calligraph from the Jewel collection that just released to track my actual word count. And those are all the spreads. So as I said, this one's pretty simple and straightforward. Hopefully it will help me throughout this process. As I said, I'm pretty nervous. I have no idea if I'll be able to hit that big of a goal or not. I have no idea if I'll hit a wall because I've never tried to develop an idea for a book past a couple paragraphs or a couple pages, so we shall see. But I'm super excited, and I really wanted to share this little setup with all of you in case any of you were also considering trying NaNoWriMo for the first time, or even for the second or fifth or 20th time. I'll definitely let y'all know how NaNoWriMo goes for me. Let me know in a comment down below if you'd like to see a NaNoWriMo vlog. I thought it might be fun to give you a bit of a window into the experience. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to give it a like if you did, and subscribe if you haven't already. Extra special thanks to our newest patrons, Brandy, Riley, Azza, Aisha, Sarah, Teresa, Jennifer, and Brandy. Welcome all of you to the squad. We are so excited to have you. If you at home want to join the squad, feel free. There's a link in the card and in the description box down below. And with that, I'm going to get going. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you really soon in my next one. Bye, friends.